Okay, so some of you guys might have seen the announcement that I put up on some of my social medias yesterday that you might have been getting a video like this one today instead of the video that I had planned. I apologize for that if you didn't see it. One of my dogs is sick. I'm having to run him to the vet in a little while. And it looks like it's just an allergy thing, so it shouldn't be that difficult to treat, but I'm super worried about him. I'm more worried than I should be. The vet tells me I'm more worried than I should be, but I don't know. You guys know how that is, I'm sure. Anyway, so I am delightfully exhausted as I was up late last night making sure he got enough sleep, because of course I was. And here I am doing this. So we're gonna find some more questions today, which just means I'm gonna run through all of the questions asked of me on my Discord up until such a point that I feel like I can end the video because it's long enough. So we're going to pick up right where I left off last time with another question from my good friend, and by good friend I mean person who I know slightly, my name not Rick. Ooh, this one's got a bad in it. It's got a bad in it. You guys want to hear me say a bad? You want to hear it? Alright, here we go. My name not Rick asks, why is Pearl's eye still fucked up? There you go. This video is now officially rated PG-13, and that's my one F-bomb. I would guess it's just because so much damage was done to her information being under Wyat's control for so long that the damage remained even after she was let out of Wyat's control. After all, the appearance of her eye is determined by her own information. So the damage would have had to have been to her own information for that damage to be reflected into her physical form. Whether or not her next regeneration will clear that up or not, I have no idea. My first thought would be that it won't, but it's still possible that it will. I don't know. Because it doesn't seem like the kind of temporary damage that can be fixed by regeneration, like an injury. It seems like damage to the information itself that is just being reflected in her physical form, since, as I said before, her physical form is determined by the information on her gem. Official Best Girl, which is a great name, agrees with me that it might get cleared up by her reforming, but then asks what my favorite thing about gems is, such as fusion, shape-shifting, the process of poofing, reforming, versus shattering, etc. I think this one is a matter of perspective. Like, as an objective observer sitting outside of the show watching, it's definitely fusion, but like just in general, like what would be my favorite thing out of those abilities in general, like if I existed in that world, or maybe even if I could get something out of these abilities myself, if I had these same abilities myself, it would be shape-shifting, I think, probably. But fusion, from a story standpoint, is the coolest thing that gems can do. It opens up so many more story possibilities than any one of their other powers. I would say even more so than any of their other powers combined. Like, seriously, if they combine their powers so completely that Captain Planet popped out, I still think it would be less interesting than fusion is overall. My name not Rick asked me another question. What do I think of James Baxter? James Baxter is the one guy, right? Let me double check. Yeah, he's the animator guy who did the scene of Steven and Pink Steven refusing. I knew that. I just wanted to double check so I didn't look like an idiot in the video. But I probably ended up looking like an idiot in the video anyway by having to check. Yeah, I like him a lot. I like his animation a lot. He's very good at hugs. I thought that scene was fantastic. Best looking thing in the entire show, bar none. Not much more to say about that. David asked if I think that Pink Pearl, the original Pink Pearl, will stay on Earth with Steven, being that she's Pink Diamond's original Pearl, or will she stay on Homeworld to serve White Diamond still? I think that if she's given the choice, she'll stay on Earth with Steven. That just makes the most sense to me. Like, I can't imagine why she'd want to go back to Homeworld. So probably that one. Also, do you think that Ruby and Sapphire will fuse with another gem? Singularly, perhaps, in a situation where one of them is in danger. Like a Ruby plus somebody else fusion, or a Sapphire plus somebody else fusion. I hope so. I'd like to see that. I imagine it'll be like a late series thing, but I think they'll do it. If not, they'll release like, I don't know, art of what it would have looked like or something. Because I can't imagine the guys working on this show don't want to show that off. That's such a cool idea, seeing one or the other of them fuse with somebody who isn't one or the other of them. Zombie asks, 1, if I could retell the story of Steven Universe, what key elements, possibly events, would I change, expand upon, and add to? I would change Ronaldo's characterization completely. I would turn him into more of like an investigative reporter type rather than a crackpot conspiracy theorist type. I'd also introduce some characters that can't be reasoned with as easily as other ones, if at all. I get what they're going for in the show with giving us all villains who seem, at least to some degree, reasonable. I get that's the kind of show they were trying to make. That's just not the kind of show I would make. I would also allow episodes to exist outside of Steven's perspective and give us multi-episode arcs. Like, not just episodes with serialized elements, but like entire season climaxes and stuff that take place over multiple episodes, which is still something we haven't really gotten since Jailbreak. But, I mean, Jailbreak and The Return were written like a single episode anyway. I'm looking at my little audio slider thing, and it's showing weird audio spikes through my microphone, so I'm going to reset some stuff real quick. I don't know if the audio quality is about to change, just wanted to warn you guys in case it does. Zombie also asked if I have any theories or predictions about the Steven Universe movie. At all, not really. That's kind of on purpose, though. Like, I'm sure I could have a lot of fun theorizing about it, but I want to be surprised by it. It's the movie. So, on kind of the off chance that I do hit on something that actually happens in the movie, I don't want to spoil it for myself. I know that probably sounds weird, but that's just how it is. I do kind of think/hope that the villain will be a crystal gem, like an ex-crystal gem, who somehow escaped corruption and who is PO'd that Steven's working with the diamonds, or that Rose was Pink Diamond, or some combination of the two. I think that'd be a really cool angle to take with it. And the fact that the villain is pink themed kind of maybe supports that. Maybe it was somebody who we're supposed to associate with Rose because they were friends with Rose at one point. Or it could be a gem from Pink Diamond's court who isn't happy with how things have turned out from that end. I don't know. It's going to be super interesting to see one way or another who the movie villain actually is. But those are the two kind of scenarios that I think are pretty likely regarding who they might be. Alexander asked why I think that Pink Steven was so much more extremely powerful on his own. Do I think it was because it was Pink Diamond's gem zone and as such still possesses a lot of raw power? There's more to this. 2, I think that Steven's human side is holding back his gem powers, that eventually he could reach that power level, but it's just humans have to learn and grow, gems don't. So it makes sense that he would come into his powers even more slowly than some gems, and yet at the same time, maybe we are seeing him grow into his powers slowly, and we're not seeing the other crystal gems have to grow into their powers hardly at all, so we think he's only growing into his powers slowly. Maybe he's actually growing into his powers more quickly than they would. There is some evidence in the shows to suggest that maybe the fact that humans are built to grow and learn, whereas gems aren't, has been helping him uncover powers, and it won't be long until he starts to use these full powers that Pink Steven displayed on his own as well, which is something I'd like to see. I think that'd be cool, fan service-y kind of coolness. The next question asks what speculation I have that might explain the difference between Pink Steven's bubble and regular Steven's bubble. I don't think that Pink Steven's bubble was a bubble. I think it was an amalgam of the mostly round bubble and the much flatter shield that Steven can summon independently of each other, and that's why it had a mostly rounded shape with flatter sides. I don't know if you could hear that, but my tum-tum just made the weirdest freaking noise. Quanted asks, all the way back in season 1 or something, Lion was eating some non-earth thing that couldn't be a gem because you can't eat those, and I figured after the caterpillar being another alien thing, somehow Lion might have hunted another alien species. It's possible. The thing that he was eating, though, it was a crystal basilisk or something, is what it's like officially been called in supplementary works or something. I don't even know. I don't know where the name comes from exactly. It did seem gem-related, kind of like the crystal shrimp that we've seen before. Maybe it's an alien creature that was exposed to gem technology long enough that it mutated. Maybe that's what we're supposed to take away from it, that it's something that evolved naturally on Earth after exposure to gem tech. Doesn't seem very likely because the gems haven't really been around that terribly long for something like that to happen. I think it's also possible that it was an experiment by Rose, another hybrid creature like the gem flowers that bloomed from the moss. Otherwise, though, I don't really know, but this is something that I like to speculate about a lot. But the idea that he might hunt alien species is an interesting one. I hadn't actually thought about that. Unless, though, there are other alien species on Earth, ones that I guess maybe Pink Diamond brought with her when she came, because that's just the thing that she does. I can't see how this would be possible. He could barely make it to the moon. It's not like he can go to an alien planet all on his own. I need to learn to enunciate. Still, though, very interesting idea. I like that a lot. And then Zombie asks as sort of a follow-up to that question, and I would imagine, at least since the theme's kind of the same. After Lars was revived by Steven, he no longer had a heartbeat nor any need to eat food. Since we know that Lion should logically be the same, do I think there's any reason Lion still hunts and eats things as he shouldn't have any need or instinct to do so? He would definitely have an instinct to do so still. It's not as if his mind was wiped when he was revived. At least, it shouldn't have been, because Lars's mind wasn't. So his instinct to hunt and eat would still be there. Absolutely. And that could explain it. But it's also possible that they're just wrong about Lars, that his heart beats much more slowly now, and he doesn't need to eat nearly as often. Now, he hasn't been a pink zombie for all that long, so maybe Lion does have to eat at least every once in a while to sustain himself, and so he has kept up that routine of hunting and eating things, even sometimes at points in time where he doesn't necessarily need to, because the instinct to do so is still there. Like, I see here that I actually already answered that question, but I still think it's a good question, so there you go. Now it's answered in a video as well. That's sweet. It's not exactly a question, but Toby Sinbad wanted to reassure me that people are happy about the book that I'm writing, and that, at the very least, some of you guys, I guess, are confident that I'm going to do a good job with it, which I just had to throw in here because it's sweet, made me feel good, and also because it lets me plug the fact that I am still writing my book. Brief update on that, actually. Let me throw that in here real quick since we're getting close to the end of the video. And it's more appropriate to plug yourself at the end of your videos, I think, than at the beginning. I'm probably going to go with publishing online, like an ebook style thing first. I know the last kind of thing I said about it anywhere is that I didn't want to go with Amazon, because Amazon is kind of garbage and I don't like them. But I feel pretty good about the fact that Bezos' ex got so much money from him. Makes me feel like maybe I can justify using Amazon a little bit longer, which is probably stupid, but you know, whatever. And besides, it is the easiest and best way to disseminate an ebook. So I am going to go with Amazon probably, but also a whole bunch of other ebook like hosting and distribution sites. And if the other ones do well enough, I will probably take it down off of Amazon, because again, I don't like Amazon as a company at all. But yeah, my book is coming relatively soon now, I guess. I want to find a cover artist. Like, I guess I could start it out without a cover artist just to kind of get the EPUB doc out there for the guys who I told would get it. But I'd like to find a cover artist to really kind of do justice to the book itself, like a cover artist and somebody to design and arrange the cover for me. I think that'd be really cool. I don't know, though. I don't even really know how to go about something like that. Let's do this one by Matthew. I'm not 100% sure what Matthew is trying to ask. I'm not sure if he's asking if corrupted gems, like gems that are still corrupted, can summon their weapons, or if he's asking if the corrupted gems that were healed will still be able to summon their weapons, even with the changes made to their bodies. So I'm just going to answer both. In the first case, no, I don't think so, or else I imagine one of them somewhere would have done so purely by accident, assuming that it was the corrupted form of a gem who actually knew how to summon their weapon. But then again, maybe not, so who freaking knows? Maybe it is possible, maybe they just don't have enough of like an active, logical, sapient mind to do so when they're corrupted, but that the function is still available to them if they would ever reach a point where they would have access to that function mentally. As for the now formerly corrupted gems that we've seen, I can't imagine why they wouldn't be able to still summon their weapons. They seem to have some like more superficial features of their corrupted forms, but for the most part they still seem to be perfectly functional working gems So I can't imagine that that function would be blocked off from them. Assuming that they are gems with weapons, we still don't know 100% for sure that all gems have weapons, after all, and that they know how to summon their weapon. Because again, that's another thing that, at the very least, the gems that we know of who can summon weapons don't always know how. Look at Steven at the beginning of the series. And that's where I'm going to cut off the video. I don't have a ton of time left anyway to record today. So, as per usual, what did you guys think of any of the ideas presented in this video? I'd love to get a discussion going with you guys down in the comment section down below, or over my Discord, where, incidentally, I'm starting to run out of questions, so ask me more questions over there, please, or ask me questions in the comments. Just make it clear that you want the questions to be in a video if you want the questions to be in a video. Either way, though, this has been AJ22, and I will talk to you guys later.